Hi, my name is Martin Omander, and I welcome you to Google Root Access, the show featuring actionable startup advice. My guest today is Nathan Beckord. Welcome on the show, Nathan.
Thanks for having me.
So you are the founder of the startup Foundersuite. Could you
right.
tell us a bit about your startup?
Sure. Foundersuite is a collection of 5 web apps and about 80 templates, spreadsheets, documents for entrepreneurs. And the way it came about, as I was consulting the startups here in Silicon Valley for about 10 years, usually in a finance or biz dev capacity, built a lot of these spreadsheets, templates, saw a lot of common patterns of success and failure. Worked with about 150 companies, so got a good pattern recognition going with startups, and so decided to build a tool and document collection for them.
Great. 150 startups. Did you get any sleep?
Not much, no. You can see I still have the bags.
So it sounds like a big part of what you're doing is providing templates to these startups who are your customers. What infrastructure do you use for that?
Yeah, so we use Google Drive. So we have about 80 templates in this collection. Some examples are like pitch decks, financial models, co-founders agreement, hiring plans, things like that. Pretty wide diversity of things.
Important stuff that a lot of startups forget.
Very important stuff, and you can script your company if you do things wrong. So we're trying to provide some structure. These templates are in a variety of file formats, as you can probably imagine, from Keynote, PowerPoint, Excel, PDF, all over the board. And we use Google Drive to store them all. We originally chose Google Drive because it was quick and dirty. It was kind of a hack to get started with our document storage, but we've stayed on it.
I like quick hacks.
Yeah.
But you stayed on it. How come?
Yeah, because it works for us. Because it works great. It's very reliable, and we enjoy it.
Great.
Yeah.
So when I go into your app, I've seen how there are directories for my stage of startup and all that, and I can click through and I get a listing of the templates. When I do that, what happens in the background?
Yeah, so our software is pinging Drive's API to see what files are in our corporate folder. And then our software is presenting all these files in a very beautiful, navigable way. So we have a section of our site that is all the different templates, and it's broken into categories like getting started, hiring, fundraising, things like that. And then also when you're working in our web apps, we have access to these documents and templates too. So for example, if you're working in our investor CRM tool, managing your discussions with investors, there's a little tab on the side that you can pull up these docs. Same with the media CRM tool. So it's a great way to navigate what's stored on Google Drive. And then the user can simply open up one of these files and either store it to their own Google Drive or save it to the hard drive. Very easy to use.
So then if they store it on their own Google Drive account, you don't need to deal with storage space and such. It's off on their account and they have their own version.
Yep. We maintain the master copies of all these files, and they make copies and do what they want with them.
Oh, yeah. Right. So what does this integration with Google Drive bring to you as a keeper of many documents?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. We don't have to worry about passwords, about security.
Passwords. I've been in a startup where we spent way too much time worrying about passwords rather than our core business.
You can't, you can't let things like passwords derail your startup. That would be horrible.
Yeah.
It lets us not worry about hosting costs and things like that. Google's very reliable. I can't even think of downtime in the past, couple of years. And for me as a CEO, and I'm also kind of the product guy, it means I can spend my time out hunting for different new documents to add to the collection, or we build our own sometimes. And it's very easy for me to add new things to the collection in the proper folder. I simply go into our corporate drive, add the thing, and then it magically appears in the user's accounts and folders, which is great. I don't have to get engineers involved. I don't have to get coders involved when I just want to add a new document to the collection.
I see. So you mentioned some of the documents you were storing, like co-founder agreements, like legal agreements, pitch decks.
Yep.
What other things are you storing?
Yeah, we've got all kinds of good stuff. We have a lot of marketing tools. For example, if you're looking to do a press release, we have press release templates and sample docs for that. In our getting started section, there's like co-founders agreement, equity split wizard, right? Think of some of the high-profile cases recently of
yes.
Snapchat or even Facebook where they didn't have a proper equity split agreement in place, and later on the third or fourth co-founder sues, right?
Yeah.
Getting that stuff right early on is important. In our finance section, there's some planning templates, financial models, hiring planner, so you can kind of map out who you're planning to hire over the next 12 months. There's things like terms of service and kind of boilerplate things that most startups need. Hiring, we have NDAs, contractor agreements, things like that. Yeah, a lot of good stuff.
Sounds like a treasure trove of
It is.
useful stuff. Yeah.
Very proud of it.
Great. So finally, what would your advice be, Nathan, to a startup that needs to store a document as part of their service?
Sure. It's pretty simple. Play to your strengths. Play to what your startup does, and piggyback on the talented army of engineers here at Google to manage storage, passwords, security. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel.
Yes, I've seen it reinvented many times, and not always very well.
Yeah, well, it's been a great foundation for us. We've been on this almost 2 years now, and it's been super reliable, fast, easy, and it saves us money. Yeah.
Great.
I just hope that you guys keep your servers on. That's my one request to you. Just keep those servers lit up, and we're all happy.
Oh, yes. After we shut down the cameras, I'll go and talk to the guys.
Good.
All right, great. Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your experiences with us, Nathan.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
We hope you found something you can use in your startup. Your input matters. Please leave your comments below. We read everything you write. To learn how Google can help your startup, go to developers.google.com/startups. If you would like to be a guest on the show, go to bit.ly/apply root access. That's it for now. See you next time.